Greg Tepper of Dave Campbell's Texas Football and TexasFootball.com here in San Antonio at the THSCA Coaching School and Convention with the head coach of the number 1 ranked 3A Division II team, the Franklin Lions. It's Coach Mark Fannin. Coach, how are you?
Doing good.
We have you number 1. Do I need to apologize, or are we here to fight?
No, I'm not real big into the rankings. You just go out there and play football and see what happens. It does kind of put a target on us, but we're not going to shy away from the target. I think it's better to have those expectations and not having those expectations. So we're not too mad at you.
I want to go back to last year, and you guys make it to the state championship game, and a phenomenal finish, phenomenal game with Canadian. Fall a play short, a minute short. How do you talk about that? How is that referenced around your program? Is it something you guys talk about a lot? Is it something that's just in the rearview mirror? How do you talk about that game?
We really don't have to bring that game up much. It's in the back of our kids' head. We had a great off season this year. We did not really have to remind them to work hard or to do what's right. From time to time we kind of just threw that bait out there and kind of reminded them, about it. But our kids they're hungry and they're ready to get going in August, and it should be a fun year.
Well, and you guys, I'm always interested in talking with guys who run an offense like yours, where you guys, to be clear, you have extremely talented players, but your offense is not built to create superstars. You know what I mean? I'm not blowing smoke. You're a team offense.
Right.
You know what I mean? As opposed to you got other offenses where it's like that's the guy. But at the same time, these guys are watching Saturdays, they're watching Sundays, they're seeing superstars and things like that. How do you get kids to buy in on a system that is fundamentally not expected to – you're not going to get headlines. You're not going to be, get these gaudy numbers. How do you get kids to buy in on something like that?
Yeah, it's just being consistent. I think winning does a lot of that, and kids like to win. And we've been pretty successful in Franklin since I've been there. And we started when they're young, and they know by the time they get to a freshman in high school what they expect. It is hard to, maybe because, like you said, they're seeing all this stuff on TV, and I call it the fancy spread or whatever, It's hard to convince them that, 3.3 yards is a bonus, and that's what we're preaching. And the kids in Franklin are solid group of kids. If you lead them, they're going to go in the right way, and they always do, and I'm very fortunate to be surrounded by good kids and coaches.
The thing that you guys always at Franklin, even with Coach Hedrick and your predecessor, you guys have been tough defense. That's it starts there. It seems like we'll figure everything else out.
Right.
You can't win if you can't score. When you take a look at what this 2021 defense could be, I think one of the reasons we have you number 1 is we think it could be pretty special.
Yes.
Is that something you share?
Yes, our defense should be pretty solid this year. We got a lot coming back from last year. Because we had a lot of kids with lots of experience coming back. I think overall our defense should be pretty solid this year. There's a couple guys we're going to have to replace, but like I said, these kids have been working, and it's not real hard to have to motivate these kids right now.
We talked about your offense. You guys run the ball a lot, and yet in that state championship game, some of those biggest plays you guys had were passing plays, and you guys were in the state 7-on-7 tournament. You guys were out there going there. What are you looking to do there at something like 7-on-7, which I think some people might say is kind of antithetical to what you want to do, but what are you hoping to accomplish with stuff like that?
Well, we started 7-on-7 probably 5 years ago, just a league, in Franklin. We got about 3 or 4 teams that come to Franklin once a week for 4 weeks, but the main reason we started it is to work on our defense. The kids love to do the spreading and the empty and throwing the ball. But, our main focus for 7-on-7 at the beginning was for defensive purposes. We got a really good set of athletes right now that can throw and catch. And, so we're going to implement a little bit of that maybe this year. Not a bunch, I'll promise you that. We're still going to be ground and pound. But I think to get to that next level, we're going to have to be able to throw it a little bit, and playing the 7-on-7 has done nothing but helped us.
One guy that I know I'm sure you get a lot of phone calls about is Bryce Washington, a guy who's a big-time playmaker. We saw him at 7-on-7. We saw him in the title game. I don't think there's any doubt he passes the eyeball test.
Right.
And I can watch film, and I can tell you that he's a good player, but you're the guy who sees him every day in practice. What is it about Bryson Washington that sets him apart?
Well, Bryson is a special kid. He's a hard worker. He's ate up with football. Him looking the part just does nothing but help, But he comes from a great family, and he's just one of those kids that don't. When the coaches leave, we kind of shoo him out, because he just loves. We call him, fieldhouse rats or whatever. He's always around. Just a great kid and great family.
All right, and finally, the most important question. If somebody's coming to Franklin to watch the Lions, and let's say they want to get a pregame meal there in Franklin, what's the go-to? I told you, I'm a hard-hitting journalist.
That is the go-to in Franklin, Texas. There's not many choices.
It's a smaller town.
It is a smaller town. Dang. You are putting me on the spot right here.
Am I just coming over to your house?
Yeah. There's a New Baden General Store about 4 miles out of Franklin. Okay. They sell really good cheeseburgers.
Hey, now.
And on Friday night, they have all-you-can-eat catfish. Oh, and it's pretty legit.
You're singing my
now,
song.
all these other businesses are going to be mad at me right now.
That's
so
the
I got to throw in Amigos and
Uh-huh.
Chicken Express, and I got to throw those guys in too.
I
But
get it.
game day.
Game day.
We do game day burgers every home game. Us coaches from New Baden General Store.
Okay.
So
all right, that's good to know.
Yes, sir.
And now, look, all you've got to do to make us look smart is go win the state championship.
Hey, that's okay. We'll definitely go try.
Okay, Coach, appreciate your time.
Appreciate you, bud.
Hey, thanks for watching this clip here on YouTube. If you like this kind of stuff and you want more of it, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. And remember, you can watch us live every weekday at noon at TexasFootball.com, Facebook, Twitch, or here on YouTube. And if you want more of the best coverage of football in the state of Texas, check out TexasFootball.com and become a Dave Campbell's Texas Football Insider at TexasFootball.com/subscribe.